match the national teams of St. Lucia and the St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Ready?
Excuse me?
Ready?
Man is ready. Yes.
So welcome back to Victoria Park for the second game of the doubleheader tonight. The Battle of the Saints, St. Lucia against St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as the players and the officials make their way to the middle. And very soon we'll get the national anthem of both teams as we prepare ourselves for this encounter, Roxelle.
Yes, we're definitely ready for this encounter, and I know our co-commentator has been practicing over the last 24 hours. She saw us join in unison on Tuesday. She went home and did some practicing, and I believe Miss Dion John is ready to do a minute or two. What do you think, Charlo? What do you think?
I have a very good friend. He will say that on a green donkey you will not see.
Well, we always try to enjoy our commentary because this is what we do and we love doing it.
So
we're waiting for the national anthem.
The national anthem of St. Lucia and St. Vincent.
Please rise for the national anthem of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, national anthem of St. Lucia, followed by the national anthem of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
So there we have it, the national anthem of St. Lucia and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And the teams are out in the middle exchanging their pleasantries. And very soon we're going to see the start of the play. But let me give you quickly the starting lineup for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. In goal, Tishana James, number 1. Number 18, Chelsea Cordis, captain. Number 2, Arika Hooper. She will be starting this time around. Number 3, Melaine Stowe. Number 5, Kalisha Boynes. Number 6, Venetia Johnson. 7, Kendra Findlay. Number 11, Cherish Laborde. Number 12, Etrisha Jeffrey. Number 17, Azumi Kwao. And 21, Ashantini Charles. That's the starting lineup for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yes, and for St. Lucia, we have in goal Kenna Lionel, captain, returning once again to lead the charges. Number 25, Cassandra Shepard. Number 5, Hayla Samuel. Number 6, Raquel John. Number 7, Tori Fanous. Number 9, Shamalin Albert. Number 10, Kayla Lionel. Number 11, Frigini Joseph. Number 12, Chloe Williams. Number 13, Stephanie Alain. and number 15, Kyson St. Louis, starting lineup that is quite similar to what we've seen over the last two encounters.
Well, definitely, and for once we see Arika Hooper, she will be in the starting lineup, and the number 3, Melon Stowe, stand out, and she will see. So, again, Darian Scantlebury take carrying the whistle, assisted by Denroy Barker and Abigail McKenzie, and the fourth official, Renly Napoleon, with Ronaldo Lewis, the match commissioner, and Clemroy Burt Francois as the referee assessor. So,
Yes.
those are the officials in charge.
Definitely, and a promising encounter. We note the inclusion of Arika Hooper to start this encounter. St. Vincent definitely will be looking for goals because that's what needed to get them into the championship match on Saturday.
Well, certainly, but they certainly have been outnumbered in terms of goal difference. So St. Lucia in their blue with some yellow trimmings, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines in their orange. What do you call it, orange or gold?
St. Vincent and Grenadines in yellow.
In yellow.
Yellow, yes.
In yellow.
Or
and
gold,
it would have
yes.
been interesting. It's a
Yes.
similar outfit to Barbados.
Barbados,
except
very
that
much so.
There's some colors to the front.
Yes,
And
yes. So, an encounter similar to what we had on Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday evening, where we expect this to be of a high intensity, of a very competitive nature, with the teams going at each other for all that's there to be grabbed.
So it's going to be a game where we're going to see the players I would be running hard, playing hard. We readily jumping out at me would be Melon Stowe for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and you look at the Raquel John and Fanous for St. Lucia. So we have Kendra Findlay as well for St. Vincent in defense. So we anticipate that keen encounter as we see St. Lucia defending the goal to the northern end with the pavilion behind them, and you can see Kenna Lionel taking up that position. St. Vincent defending the goal to the southern end, the gas station end as it is commonly referred to, and with the kickoff to be taken by St. Lucia, and referee Scantlebury on the far side. So we're still away, just a few minutes, having a word with his fourth official over there. And a quiet crowd, and I must say a disappointing crowd for the tournament really so far. One would anticipate Saturday's crowd to be a bit better.
We would love that to happen, because as we've been saying all week, the quality of football on show has been quite pleasing, and the young ladies need the support.
Most definitely. So St. Lucia with a kickoff. Scantlebury makes his way back to the middle. And it's just about testing the ball to ensure that it has adequate pounds. And now he spots it. And it looks like Christian St. Louis to take that kickoff. Sporting number 15. Referee has a look at his watch. And there goes the whistle. So St. Louis goes back to her captain, Cassandra Shepard, who is engaged in a tussle, but is still with St. Lucia inside their own half. Number 17 for St. Vincent. And just cleared by St. Lucia, and there is Cardiff's captain looking to come away. Finds Stowe. Stowe comes to the right. Nice ball. Finds Laborde. Laborde works her way to the middle. Goes across looking for Cardiff, who didn't rein that in easily, but still coming forward, but losing it out there was St. Vincent. There is number 12 on the far side, Jeffrey. allowing St. Lucia to take a run. She comes back in defense, finds Shepherd. Shepherd with a shot, but blocked there by the defense. Cardis looks to clear that. Cardis comes across. It finds Laborde. Laborde comes to the center. Still finds number 10 for Lionel. Kyla Lionel for St. Lucia. That's been booted out of play. It's going to be a throw-in for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So Melaine Stowe, number 3. Busy player. Long throw. Looking for some support. It eludes one. Comes right back to Cardis. Cardis goes across field. And still that one booted hard. Long ball downfield. And James comes off her line. Collects easily. And just calmly waved her player forward. Now she rolls it out to a player on the far left. Just a little difficult picking up the numbers. You see Charles inside there. St. Vincent still with it. Knocking it around, looking to come forward, but cut out by St. Lucia. Fanous with it. Fanous boots it downfield. Again, nice header there for St. Vincent intercepting, and this one has some power. This is a good ball, and there was the number 11 in Joseph. Phrygia Joseph looking to close in, but cleared by Stowe, and it's going to be a throw-in for St. Lucia. We're just inside the 3rd minute.
Yes, well, we expect that these teams are going to go at each other. We saw St. Vincent and Grenadines getting a very early break, and now the exchanges are on the other end where the Vincentians have to defend what it looks like a free kick.
Well, it's a free kick being awarded, so infringement called, I think, as on Stowe. And referee Scantlebury now indicating where that wall should be. You can see just about 5 players getting back into that area. It looks like Arika Hooper is there. So too is Stowe. And Bowens, Shepherd. And Stowe got a boot on, cuts it out. But St. Lucia still with it. It's Lionel with it. Lionel with a long shot. And James calmly collects. And you can hear the applause. She's covering the angle well. And now she boots it downfield. Long ball. Looks for. Finds Stowe. Stowe in a tussle. Back to Laborde. Laborde loses it. But off the St. Lucian, number 11 counterpart, Joseph. And a throw-in for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So, looking for some support. Looking. Goes back. St. Lucia with it. Bowens, nice back heel, looking for some support. Finds Melaine Stowe, and off the St. Lucia, and it goes out. Or is it? It's against St. Vincent.
Yes.
And so off Stowe, it's going to be a throw-in for St. Lucia. The number 13 in Alain finds number 11, who has Stowe to contend with. And looks to get around. Good defensive work by Stowe. It goes out of play. It's going to be a throw-in for St. Vincent. Finds Laborde. Laborde looks to get around one. Does so. Looking to come to the middle. Goes back to her captain, Cardis. Cardis goes wide. But there is St. Louis. Number 7, Finley with it. Boots it downfield. There's a bit of tussle. Shepherd finds her number 15, St. Louis. Goes wide. St. Vincent still with it on that far side. It looks like Arika Hooper, who couldn't control, knocks it out of play. It's going to be a throw-in for St. Lucia. It's 0-0 here at Victoria Park in this second game of the evening.
Yes, still trying to get their game plan to full effect, both teams, and deciding and finding the best routes to the possibilities of scoring. We're going to probably see that for the next few minutes until a team decides they want to take full control, Charlo.
So St. Lucia with a throw-in. Still St. Lucia, but she cannot get around the defender. It's been cleared, but not out of touch. A long shot comes in. Again, we see James really doing good work for St. Vincent. And she boots it downfield, but sliding off the outer boot out of play. It's going to be a throw-in for St. Lucia. But each save being applauded by the small but appreciative crowd.
Impressive take there as well, because the shot was not bad. It was
So
heading.
Alain loses it. Stoke cleans it up. Finds Laborde. Laborde has the number 10 in Lionel to contend with. Ball down the flank. And it's still Stowe with it. Would look to come forward. They're still in their own half. And Stowe loses it. But again, there's looks like Hooper to clean that up. Bowens rather. And they now look to come forward. Nice ball. Alain has a long run, but this has too much on it for Laborde. And St. Lucia would come away with it. And not good work there by St. Lucia. Stow with it. Signal to her players to come forward. Poor pass on her behalf. But she's been pushed down by Fanous. Referee says to play on. But Stowe gets it back. Cardis with it, looking to make some inroads, looking to come forward. Nice ball to Laborde on the flank. Laborde crosses it, the heads go up. There's still, there goes the whistle. And I think it was called for offside. But good transition there by the Vincent. And referee Scantleberry says to go back. So it's going to be number 6 in Raquel John. And lots of Johns around. As the number 5, Samuel looks to find Alain, but it goes out of play. It's going to be a throw-in for St. Vincent. So it's going to be a throw-in for St. Lucia. Number 13, Alain, long throw, finds number 10, but Stowe is with her. She's not going to get up around. Laborde is there. And has really been putting some pressure on the St. Lucian. And it's going to be a throw-in for St. Vincent. So it's going to be Stowe. There was a little bit of confusion and there in terms of the decision for whose ball it is. So there's number 17 in Quao. And Quao being hustled off it. And it's an infringement call on St. Lucia. So it's going to be a free kick for St. Vincent. About halfway into the St. Lucia's half. Captain Cardis is there, sporting number 18. Has Charles alongside her. As we see quite a number of players just trying to worm their way into that penalty area. Charles with this free kick. Let's see what she will do. And now it's chest away there. Cardis looking for a shot, not cueing that well. And it goes out. And there's a corner being signaled, so off the defender for St. Lucia. And we see Laborde, Cherish Laborde, with the first corner just inside the 10th minute of play. It's still 0-0. Nice long ball, heads go up and knocked away there by Lionel. Coming very decisively off her line, and that's St. Vincent unable to keep that one in play. It's going to be a throw-in for St. Lucia. But it was a good corner, Roxelle, but good decisive action on the part of Lionel.
Well, the goalkeepers are coming up trumps early in the movie, so to speak. Here at Charlo, they have commanded their area. Excellent corner, but equal to the task was Lionel.
Yes, a cross comes across, looking for Laborde, but it being cut out. And let's see, good piece of work there by the number 11 for St. Lucia and Joseph. Boots it long field, but again, we see Bowens with defensive work, finds Cardis, and Charles not able to control and gives it away. Here is Fanous. Nice ball, but intercepted there by Arika Hooper, who goes back in defense to Finley. Finley to Hooper, back to Finley. Arika who has some work to do. It looks like Jeffrey on that far side as well. And it goes out of play. It's going to be a throw-in for St. Lucia. It's still 0-0. We are in the 11th minute of the first half. Long throw. Finley's there. But it's still with St. Lucia. St. Lucia not allowed to come forward. Has to go back in defense. And there's down the flank. And James comes off her line very smartly. And didn't collect. And Finley boots it downfield. Long run. There is Raquel John. Loses it. And this is good work. Still with... Kwaw is still there. And there's good defensive work there by the number 5 in Samuel for St. Lucia. The ball is still in St. Lucia's court. Lionel comes off a line and collects. And damage averted as Lionel boots it. Long ball downfield looking for some support. Finds St. Louis. Louis being robbed of it by Finley, but can't go. Arika Hooper is there. Hooper goes across field. Looking for Charles. Nice ball, but St. Lucia defense is coming up trumps. And again we see infringement call there on St. Lucia. It's going to be a free kick for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Initially the referee had called infringement against St. Vincent, but that was quickly reversed. And Captain Chelsea Cardis is there. So Cardis, nice long ball, but it goes totally defended there by St. Lucia, and so gets a wrong one. She's looking for some support. Again, good work by St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Back to Cardis, chips it downfield, looking for some support. Raquel John has a long run, and down she goes. In so it's going to be a free kick. Down goes that player on our far right, and she's still down. She's trying to pick the number on the back of the shirt, but some support has been sought. But it was a sliding tackle. She's still down, but she's receiving some attention. So play being held up. Perhaps just winded a bit. And you can see they're doing the concussion test.
Yes, well, they definitely gonna have to make sure she's ready to go. Unfortunately, we have
number 6 in Venetia Johnson.
Venetia Johnson, yeah, but
she's been ushered now to the sideline.
These are things that you definitely have to make sure that she is ready to go, that there is full recuperation in terms of steadiness, control of what the body in its entirety. She's sure where she's at, etc. Charlo, because head lash is very, very a strange one to deal with in a short space of time.
Yes, so that one booted downfield. Boynes is there, controls well, comes across field looking for Hooper, but unable to control. St. Lucia with it, the number 11. There's still that tussle. Comes back to St. Louis. Louis looking to worm her way around about 3 or 4 defenders. But St. Vincent standing firm. They're now working their way up, looking to counter-attack. Looking for some, but they're giving it away. It's still with St. Louis. In fact, number 10 in Kyla Lionel. And still St. Lucia. But Charles with it for St. Vincent. Comes back to her captain, Cardis. Loses it. And still with Fanous for St. Lucia. So Arika Hooper, the number 2. Long ball down the right flank. The race is off. Has Venetia Johnson, and he's been knocked out of play by St. Lucia. It's going to be a throw-in for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yeah, so here we go. St. Vincent and Grenadines trying to mount another attack. Johnson gets that one from Jeffrey, and into touch it goes again. St. Lucia tries to deny further advancement. Albert was the defender on that occasion. Jeffrey takes another attempt. This one goes into Charles, but taken away, and it's with St. Louis. St. Louis still in a tussle, this time with Jeffrey. Far on the right-hand side of attack for St. Lucia. The left-hand side of attack for St. Lucia. And the throw is taken now by Albert, finds St. Louis. Coming to steal it there was Venetia Johnson. Back to Jeffrey, looking to feed her through pass, but falls now for John. John has it, and that's Raquel John for St. Lucia. She's looking for movement, decides to pump downfield, and push off there by St. Louis. Caught very quickly by referee Scanterbury, and so a free kick coming the way of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So again, the intensity not as high as we've seen in the last few games, and you can see the wear and tear in terms of the output, so to speak, so far from these ladies over the week so far, Charlo.
So I think they're warming to the task, so let's see what would transpire.
All right, Finley to Jeffrey.
Right.
Jeffrey goes upfield looking for Johnson. Stolen there by Albert, but Johnson takes the loose ball, goes inside, finds Cordis. Cordis attempts to hammer into the box, but falls now for Finley. Finley comes across, finds Stowe. St. Vincent Grenadines on the left-hand side. It's with, this is Laborde, Sheris Laborde and Kayla Lionel. Still Laborde unable to keep it in touch. And so throw in for St. Lucia, deep, almost at the corner flag here, Charlo.
Definitely.
Taken by Alain to Lionel, and forced into a serious and a dangerous tackle, offering St. Vincent and Grenadines a free kick in a very good position, Charlo Lionel.
Well, Laborde has been very eager for that, and she is really standing firm. She has the frame to take the tussle, and see our captain just going across, having a word with her.
Oh, that's a poor free kick taken by Laborde.
Very poor.
Yes, and it unleashes Louis. She has Finley to contend with. Still Louis. She goes into the area. Good beat. Never beat. She goes further. She takes a shot, but eventually blocked by the recovering Stowe and Finley, Charlo.
Well, yes, but it was a good piece of work, single-handedly by St. Louis. But St. Vincent defense recovering well and thwarting the efforts, and couldn't get a clear shot on goal, and in the end there is a throw-in for St. Lucia.
Well, you did say the heat is going to be turned on, and St. Louis just about started that process. Throw-in taken by Alain to the number 11 for St. Lucia. That is Joseph. Falls now for Captain Shepherd. Shepherd goes forward looking for St. Louis. It falls to the right. Let's see who's coming in there. Oh, it's just, let's see. There's a call against the number 12, is it? Let's ensure that we have that number correct. Not about ready to turn around. But she had an opportunity, Charlo, that I feel she should have taken an early shot instead of trying to cut inside.
Well, she was
Number
trying to
12.
get around the defender.
All right, so that's Chloe Williams. And so St. Vincent breaks again with Jeffrey on the right. And she loses out to Williams, finds Fanu. Fanu tries to thread the needle, but that hole was stopped by Cordis. Pushing forward now with St. Vincent, but a loose ball goes and John picks it up. Falls for Kayla Lionel. Stowe cleans up the bad movement, and there's now a good ball. Here, let's see. Joseph is advancing, but commanding quite well is James. Well, I think
she ran into her own player.
Yes, exactly. That's my perception. And Joseph was wondering what really is happening here. Booted upfield by James, and it falls now for Laborde. Laborde heads into the path of Stowe. She controls, but stolen by momentarily. Cordis picks it up, looking for Laborde. And it's a free kick against Laborde, who did not keep that close to her as we would probably see in the coaching manuals. When you receive, you want to personalize that pass, Charlo, and she was pushed into infringement.
Yes, definitely.
So John, Raquel John, always distinct, the defenders for St. Lucia with the white bows and the hairdo. She pumps downfield, looking, and referee on spot, and infringement against St. Louis. She's opening her arms, she's asking questions, very aggressive tonight and vocal as well. And the referee Canterbury is not having any of it. Just walks away and continues with his job. Booted upfield by Bowens, taken by Shepard momentarily, bounces very high, and again Kayla Lionel has her arms in places she should not have them, and a free kick coming the way of St. Vincent.
Definitely, and the referee having a word, summon her, and having a word that pushing. So there is St. Louis signaling to her players to go back, get into that penalty area.
All right, so Captain Cordes picks up the free kick. She pumps it, a good kick into the area, head away by Captain Shepard momentarily. Fell there, it looks like for Kwao. Is it Charles? Correction. And finally into the arms of Kenya Lionel. Bumped downfield, taken by Bowens. Bowens comes across, finds Stowe, controls really neatly, and is looking to pump up field. She goes as far as Kayla Lionel, who does not control her kick at this point, and into touch it goes. Another throw for St. Vincent and Grenadines. So a few errors coming into play. And we find this as they're eager to break the ice open. This one is pushed back to Fanu. Fanu picks it up, looks for St. Louis. St. Louis moves inside. We have three defenders around her. Still St. Louis. St. Louis. She moves over now to the right. Let's see what she does. She brings it across, but only as far as Cordes for St. Vincent and Grenadines. She pushes upfield. An excellent ball in the path of Kwao, but covering there well. Central defender Raquel John goes across. Finds Albert on the left hand side. She is trying to get around Charles, and Albert crosses only into the safe hands of James, whose handling I think
very
has been the best from the goalkeepers we've seen on show.
Yes, I think so. For the goalkeepers on show, I think James has looked certainly the most commanding of all, and she looks very calm and composed in terms of her approach.
And but as Charles comes forward and plays the ball to Kwao. Kwao looks to go inside for Arika Hooper. He said no. He said Stowe. And now Kwao. And Hooper. No, is it? Yes, it was Hooper. I think we have two number twos. Or number 7.
Number 17.
Well, she's a number in the back. I'm sure it looks like 2, but she is
Kwao.
Right. And that was Hooper though. Going forward, and the crowd was screaming possibly for an infringement against St. Lucia, but Canterbury decided that was not the case.
So Kenna Lionel, she's down, she's receiving some assistance, but a good work by St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and the crowd was really getting involved. Unfortunately, Lionel thwarted the efforts, and the scoreline remains 0-0.
Well, 0-0 it is, and much to discuss. I'm sure the bench is looking at tactical changes in terms of position and possibly options of trying to break down these defenses. We have had splurts, we've seen splurts, but nothing, Charlo, quite decisive in terms of an opportunity that we can note as a missed opportunity.
Well, you're right on that, but we have seen some good work on the part of both teams so far, and as we said from the inception, it should be keenly contested. We expect that keen contest.
And so Lionel boots downfield to Hooper. Hooper actually has number 2 on her back. So yes, it's correct. So Hooper is number 2 this evening. Alain brings it across, finds John from the throw-in, And John is looking for movement. She picks out Joseph as her option, and Joseph does well. Gets it around Stowe, but cleaning up there was Bowens quite well. Good cover by Bowens. Shepherd though finds Fanu. Fanu was impressive in the last encounter. Over to Joseph. Joseph brings it back to Captain Shepherd. Good movement here by St. Lucia, but that one is given away, and it comes back to Shepherd. Shepherd still commanding the control. Turn beautifully by Kayla Diamond, and she's still in control on the right hand side. She crosses. Good cross, but commanding our area with excellent competence. James again.
Well, definitely she has been simply outstanding.
Both players running without leaving the ball in its path. That was a comical but funny aspect of the game, and everybody up enjoying the contest. That starts to warm up, Charlo.
Yes, things are warming, and really we have seen it. But I like to look at James in terms of her approach and the calmness that she brings to the table.
That is important in spaces and the job that she has to do, as this one is pushed forward. Looking for Johnson
on the far side.
But it goes out of touch, into touch, that is. Comes down now. Shepherd from Albert. And Shepherd not controlling that pass, so a quick turnover. Jeffrey takes it over to Johnson, who allowed it to run. She's in a tussle with Albert. She comes inside, finds Quao. Quao lays it back to Captain Chelsea Cordis, who takes a good shot.
Good long
but
shot.
Just off the target. I would have really liked to see that one in between the upright to see what Lionel would have done.
Well, certainly, we have seen Cordis doing that since the very first game. Those long shots. And I see her at Annesville early in mornings practicing those shots, Roxelle, and somewhere along the line one would anticipate that one may well come off one of these days.
Well, she is probably a fan of Salisbury, member of the Liverpool Football Club. You would know that's a good club, right?
Yes. For those long shots.
Yes, here we go. It's brought inside. Arika Hooper tried to backheel it. It goes into the path, but Alain, remember, she has stood out well and impressively for St. Lucia, and she evaded the oncoming Laborde on that attack, Charlo.
But it was a good piece of work by Hooper, and good game awareness on her part, and really not only a game awareness but showing her class.
And this is Bowens trying to mount an attack. This one goes all the way through the spaces into the arms of Kenna Lionel. She boots downfield looking for St. Louis. St. Louis heads forward, and coming away with it would be Stowe. Stowe plays it to her goalkeeper in James. Back to Stowe. Stowe is there's a show. There's a player down. Looks like a Johnson. Her position not promising. Looks as if she may have had a blackout. I hope she's fine. But the way the arms were and the body, yes, the body is pretty still. And let's hope this is not as serious as it looks at this stage, Charlo. There was a loud shout.
The doctor is there for sure.
Yeah, there were loud shouts from both benches. And is it Johnson? Looks like Venetia Johnson. And remember, she had a head knock earlier in the encounter. So we have to hope that this pans out very well for her, Charlo.
Well, yes. So doctor rather frantic. She's not yet placed on the stretcher. So there are some. She's now being placed on the stretcher, so she would be stretchered off. Yes, it's Venetia Johnson, the number 6.
Well, she looks as if she's actually now moving her
Yes.
arms, which is a positive,
very-
definitely
very-
positive sign. Yeah, and I believe the movement here now has to be directly to the Milton Cato Hospital, where she would definitely have the
Well, the ambulance is in place.
yes, well,
And so-
as is required for these encounters and matches of this nature. And hopefully all is well. Let's see what is gonna transpire, but we wish her all the best, Charlo.
Well, certainly we have to
And
wish her all the
remember,
best.
unfortunately, she did have what we perceive to be a serious head knock earlier in the encounter.
So it's going to be a bounce ball for St. Vincent. We see Bowens is there. A referee very close to Bowens. And Bowens now looks to boot that upfield, looking for Laborde. A little too much on that and going out of play. And it's going to be a throw-in. Alain for St. Lucia finds Shepard, her captain. Shepard looks to come forward, but again, we can see St. Vincent and the Grenadines doing some clearance, but still with St. Lucia, Lionel with it. Kyla Lionel with a shot. And again, James just calm as ever. Easy as Sunday morning collects. And just boots it downfield. So Laborde has two defender, loses it. And there is Stowe. So off the St. Lucian defender, it's going to be a throw-in for St. Lucia. Stowe has really been outstanding. So there's going to be a substitution. Off would come the number 6 and on would come the number 9 for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So Navia Richards.
Well,
Richards on. And it's Fanous comes back to Lionel. Lionel boots it downfield, but cut out there by St. Vincent and the Grenadines. A long ball down. Cow has a long run. Raquel is there. She shadows it, but in the end, booting it out of touch, out of play, is going to be a corner.
I think she made a right decision, because the distance between the oncoming Vincentian attackers and Lionel, it was almost even, and so it could have offered an opportunity for the running attackers to get there. So I think on this occasion, again, John made a correct decision.
Well, she has been outstanding for St. Lucia. She has really worked hard. And we see Laborde moving quickly into referee just asking her to wait. There's a lot of shouting in that penalty area. Referee having a word with a few players. So perhaps there's some pushing while the focus is on Laborde at the corner. As she comes in, swirling ball. Up goes the header, gets a hand to it with a shot, block. And St. Lucia will still come away with it. St. Lucia in the end now clearing that, and it will go out of play. It's going to be a throw-in for St. Vincent, but it was a good corner. And Lionel came off her line, got a hand to it. There was a shot, but blocked by the defense. And there is Fanous for St. Lucia now. We're looking to come away. She has Arika Hooper to go with. Hooper is very quick. And it's St. Vincent. Bowens clearing that. And it's going to be a throw-in for in fact, Arika Hooper.
All right, so Johnson is still having some serious attention, and again, we hope and wish for her the best. I think we saw positive impressions in terms of her moving since after being put on the stretcher. So again, we wish her all the best.
So James goes wide, finds Finley. Boots it downfield, but cut out there by St. Lucia. And Finley will just watch it go out of play. And it's going to be a goal kick for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Bowens chips it downfield. So it's still Stow with it. Nice ball to Arika Hooper working her way down in the middle. Nice ball going across, looking for Charles, who was unable to get a boot on it. And it's Albert who knocking that out of play, because about 2 Vincentian players were looking to close in on that. Throw quickly taken. It's still Charles. Still with it. Charles still with it. And comes right back. Comes looking for Kwao. And Arika Hooper boots it downfield, but it eludes everyone. And the goalkeeper Lionel comes off her line and collects. Long ball downfield, looking for Jeffrey on that far side. Jeffrey giving it away, and there is Captain Cordis. Cordis still with it. She's in a tussle with 2 players. She goes down as the big Shepherd for St. Lucia look to come forward. Shepherd nicely cut out there by the Vincentian player. Cordis is down, and the referee very quickly blowing the whistle, and we can see the medics really making their way out to offer some assistance.
Well, a busy evening for the medical staff of both teams, and the doctors that are here. Cordis, who remember came off in the last encounter,
yes,
after getting a few good knocks, and she's back here working hard, and again picking up a few as well. Only in this piece with just 37 minutes into the first period, and wow, what an encounter this pan out to be without goals already, Charlie.
Exactly, we are in the 38th minute. So Captain Cordis making her way to the far side, and play will continue in just a short moment. So it's going to be a bounce ball. Right. And there is St. Louis. And again, Claire James still there. St. Louis with it. She has a defender to contend with in Bowens. Bowens not giving her the room and the space. And she looks to go wide. Up comes the header. Cleared. Back to St. Louis. And St. Vincent now clearing it, looking for Kwao. Kwao has it, has 2 defender. Nice ball to her player on the right, to Richards. Richards with a cross, still looking for Kwao, but intercepted there by St. Lucia. Cordis is back. She goes down once again, but she's holding on to her left shoulder, and she has really been in the wars. So again, the medics. And there too is Shepherd. Shepherd getting some assistance. She's going to the sideline. Cordis is still in a sitting position, gradually crawling her way back to her feet. And that's the nature of the game.
Yes. Definitely. It's a physical game. It's a contact sport. So you have to prepare body and mind for these situations that would always arise in an extremely competitive encounter.
So St. Vincent with a free kick. Looks like Richards? No, Charles.
Charles.
Charles. So free kick. Nice looping ball up goes off the head of Kwao. There's still there Richards. And off the defender there, he goes out of play. It's going to be a corner for St. Vincent, and St. Vincent really looking to press the advantage here, Roxelle, in the last few minutes.
Yes, Navia Richards. So you might be seeing it, all these young ladies from St. Vincent in the community college, but yeah, she's a second-year student in the sports sciences program.
Swirling ball. Arika Hooper is there, but cleared. Finds Stowe. Stowe, and St. Lucia still with it. Good work. Good work, but Finley not giving her the room.
And as she should not. As she should not. She has to earn that space.
Yes. So, number 10. Well done, well done. Again, we can see and that Millen Stowe. And really coming up trumps there and clearing that, not allowing the St. Lucians any space to come forward. It's going to be a throw-in. The number 13, Alain. Let's see, it's going to be, in fact, I think it's going to be a corner. No, it's a throw. So, that goes across the face of the goal. And St. Vincent would now come away with it. I think Johnson would be taken to the hospital for
yes. Well, we suspected
treatment.
that may be the case. So just keep your abreast with the developments with Johnson. She's now being prepared to be dropped very close to us behind us here at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital.
Just a minute or two away.
Yeah, well, probably not so much, but just a stone throw away, obviously. So again, we hope and wish for all the best here.
Definitely. So it's Finley on the far side with it. And off the St. Lucian defender, it goes out. And it's going to be a throw-in for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It looks like Jeffrey on that far side. Long ball, looking for some support. Still in that area. Yes, Arika Hooper is there. Quao. And sliding off a booth. Finds a St. Lucian, but good defensive work there by Captain Cordis. There's some contact, so it's going to be a free kick awarded to St. Lucia. And it looks like Raquel John who is going to take that free kick.
An encounter with some promise as it relates to attacking play, and John has another opportunity, Charlo.
And he boots it down. That goes wide off the uprights, and James just watches it go by, and it's going to be a goal kick for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The score remains 0-0 here in the Battle of the Saints.
Well, James again commanded an area. She was confident and comfortable knowing that her space was not going to be disturbed.
Boots it downfield, but sliding off Dominica and St. Lucia still Laborde. It goes out of play. It's going to be a throw-in for St. Lucia. Alain with a throw-in, long throw. Finds Lionel. In fact, he finds the number 11 in Joseph. She has Hooper to contend with. And there is St. Louis. Back to Shepherd. Shepherd has Charles. Goes wide. Finds Joseph. And again we can see Stowe. It looks like Quao. Stowe again coming to the fore. It's going to be a throw-in for St. Lucia.
Enthralling encounter. No goals to show yet. We had something similar to this on Tuesday, and belated call.
Yes, against St. Vincent. So it's going to be a free kick for St. Lucia. We are in the 44th minute of this, the first half. So.
Well, the crowd
take that free kick.
Looks like Shepherd.
It looks like Shepherd. The powerfully built Shepherd, captain, spots it. And that's went straight across the face of the upright. So she comes back in defense to Albert. Albert with a long shot. And Finley is there. There goes the whistle. And infringement called against St. Lucia.
Yeah, well, she was coming back from an offside position. It looks like Joseph for St. Lucia. And we are now going to see the indication was there. I saw the light flickering to indicate how much time we need to have addition. So they're probably communicating that to each other at this time.
The boots downfield off the head of the St. Vincent's. Quao is there. Quao gets it wrong, but cut out by Raquel. John, it looks like it's what, 3 minutes?
Yep.
3 minutes of added time. And so St. Louis just outside the area, and she gets a yellow card for that, Finley.
Well, it was a rash. I think it was a rash. Yes, it was a rash tackle.
A lunge of desperation.
Yeah, because she got up off the ground. I believe she was probably reacting to St. Louis' attempt to get the ball while she was on the floor, spread, so to speak, and the ball was between her legs. But it wasn't called for, because again, St. Louis was covered by the defenders, including herself, and this now offers an opportunity in a very, very promising position for St. Lucia.
Referee now indicating where that wall should be, and it looks as if there would be a 4-man wall. Number of players getting back into the penalty area. In fact, there's a 5-man wall. And James holding up her hand as if she is a traffic officer. And shot and cleared there by the defense for St. Vincent as they look to come forward. Still looking to come forward, this score. Infringement called against the number 5 Samuel, and it's going to be a free.
I think she did really well to hold off 2 defenders. She's strong. She still had possession of the ball, and they had no choice but to infringe her.
And so Stowe will take that free kick as we are in the closing minutes of this. Booted across field, and St. Vincent, and there is Cardis booting that downfield as Lionel comes off a line, clutches that easily. Danger averted. It's still 0-0 as she's boots that downfield. Jeffries on that far side, not controlling well. Fanous intercepts, gives it to number 12 in Williams. Williams still with it. Finds St. Louis. St. Louis has 2 defenders, comes wide. Good ball, but she's in an offside position. And up went the assistant referee's flag very quickly indeed. And so it's going to be a free kick for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And it's Bowens. Gives it to Stowe. Stowe comes to Laborde. Laborde goes center. Back to Arika Hooper, who is in a tussle. Hooper gets around 1. Boots it downfield, but a little too much on it for Laborde. And there goes the whistle. So it's the end of the first half. So at the end of the first half, Roxelle, keenly contested first half, 0-0.
Yes, keenly contested. Teams battling for ascendancy. Some spurts and good periods of good transition and attacking play. Nothing very, very clear cut to say that we would rule a missed opportunity, because the defenses are working quite well, and we expect the teams now to go to the drawing board at the halftime break and to try to dissect what they have seen, so that they can attempt to break down each other. 0-0 here, nothing to show, nothing in the onion bag, but a good competitive encounter.
Definitely. So we'll be back with you after about 15 minutes break to bring you a second half.
We say we love the cannabis.
St. Vincent, I love it. That's all I can say.
That's the life, the life, the life, the life we live. The life, the life we live.
Thinking of winning the lotto jackpot? Well, there is an easy way. Combo Play. Choose 4 numbers from 1 to 36. That's a combo 4 at a cost of $64. Match any 4 of the 5 numbers and win the lotto jackpot. There's Combo 6, where you purchase 6 numbers for only $12. Match any 5 of the 6 lotto numbers and hit the jackpot. How about Combo 7? That's a purchase of 7 lotto numbers for $42. Match any 5 of the 7 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3, Combo 8 and Combo 9 lotto plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Lotto, you have to be in it to win it.
Refrigeration and air conditioning sector personnel, we know you care about the future just as much as we do. Before becoming compliant, there are a few steps you need to take. Proper training is key. You and your team need to know the ins and outs of handling controlled substances and controlled substances alternatives in a safe, environmentally friendly manner. We're talking about following good refrigeration practices, national standards, and adhering to the Controlled Substances and Controlled Substances Alternatives Regulation. It is key to unlocking the final approval to becoming a registered technician or company in the RAC sector. And let's not forget about the honest and open communication. Your track record for compliance with the Montreal Protocols regulation speaks volume. Finally, you must make sure you've got proper secured, well-ventilated storage for refrigerants and equipment. And once you've checked all those boxes, you're ready to apply for your license by visiting www.gov.vc. Remember to keep records of all your stocks and transactions for reporting purposes to the NOU. So go ahead, take the first step to paving the way for a safer, cooler environment. Protect the ozone layer for future generations to come.
Take a deep breath. Breathe. Can you feel it? The air in your lungs. The essence and spirit of life in the air. This is paradise.
St. Vincent, I love it. That's all I can say.
That's the life, the life, the life, the life we live. The life, the life we live.
You can increase your chances of winning the Super 6 jackpot with a combo play. Remember, Super 6 numbers are from 1 to 28. Choose any 5 Super 6 numbers. That's a combo 5 for $69. Match any 5 of the 6 numbers and you will win the jackpot. Choose 7 Super 6 numbers for $21. Match any 6 of the 7 numbers and win the jackpot. There's more. Combo 8, where you purchase 8 Super 6 numbers for $84. Match any 6 of the 8 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3 and Combo 4 Super 6 plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
St. Vincent out on the field. St. Lucia still taking some time. They're now making their way out. The officials are also in the middle rock cell, and certainly 15 minutes where they can strategize and make some decisions in terms of their approach for this second half.
Well, that is what we would expect, and we will want to see the fruits of those possible strategy changes or fine-tuning of the same at this stage. St. Vincent Grenadines has a kickoff in this second period, and Kwao is standing around it, over it in this case. And Scanterbury just looking at his watch to ensure that the hand of his watch goes in sync with the officials. Just about 8:33, and we're looking at a later end tonight than we've had.
Could be anywhere about 9:20, 9:25.
Yes. So the whistle goes. Kwao finds Cordis. Cordis is looking to pump downfield on the left-hand side, looking for Laborde. She cuts inside with it very quickly. Still Laborde, and there is the ball running into touch and hammered into the covering over there, and the throwing comes the way of St. Vincent Grenadines deep in the St. Lucian half, early in the second period.
Yeah, early pressure there by Laborde, and Alain Joseph taking no chances whatsoever.
All right, so it looks like Stowe's bringing that throw in. Falls off of St. Lucian feet, but came now Shepherd picking up the loose ball that would have been intended for Cordis. Going forward here is Corey Williams, but she has the number 5 to contend with. And there's an infringement against Williams. And Fanu is asking what is the question. Why? But it's Jeffrey. She picks it up and she leaves it now for Bowen. St. Vincent and the Grenadines looking to break the ice. Finds Jeffrey. Jeffrey looks to move forward. Here on the right hand side, she finds Richards. Richards attempts to go inside, but falls now the loose ball to Cordis. Cordis comes across, and that one goes into touch. Too much on it, and Richards was not getting that one, Charlo.
Yeah, well, definitely. And so an early throw-in for St. Lucia.
And throw taken falls now for Williams. Finds Shepherd. Good interchange. Back to Williams, but putting it into touch is Bowens. Probably had some time to come around with it, but was better safe than sorry, Charlo.
Well, certainly is. Taking no chances whatsoever, Bowens, and knocked it out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in. We see Albert moving very close to the corner flag for that throw.
Sherman Albert throws it a long throw into the area. This one is going into touch once more. Another throw deep in the Vincentian half, just across from the corner flag. She decides to leave the first ball as was given to her, and she goes into the box looking for Kayla Lionel. Falls now for Captain Shepherd. Shepherd tries to pass it into the area, out by Finley. Falls now for St. Louis. What does she do? She is bumbled off of it. Hooper moves forward. She goes and she is continuing her pressure over to the right. But it was Kayla Diamond who came to the rescue of St. Lucia and put that one into touch.
So Arika Hooper looking to get some gas going and really putting some pressure on the defense there for St. Lucia.
A very strong throw in coming in there from Stowe into the mid riff of Laborde. She couldn't control, so another throw in, this time to St. Lucia. Looks like Elaine is gonna be awarded yet another. She throws it forward this time. Falling there was Joseph, but she takes it away. She has Stowe to contend with.
Clearance.
Yes, still Stowe, still Williams. Good cross coming in, and really calmly collecting here is James. I'm not sure if anyone has been impressive as she has been. I don't think with her composure in collection. Here is Jeffrey.
In terms of the goalkeepers for the tournament, Roxelle, I will give James the best goalkeeper.
The nod so far, correct? Well, still have some matches to play, and she's conceded only two goals so far in the competition. And here we go. It's a pass inside for St. Vincent with Kwao. Kwao tries to go further to her left, but the pass was behind the intended destination. St. Lucia on the attack. Away to St. Louis. St. Louis on the right-hand side. She has Bowens to contend with. Bowens yet again. And Bowens has been tracking quite well. She's been impressive, and she's doing really stout work here for St. Vincent. Arika Hooper goes forward. She plays that one forward again. Comes back to her. Don't think she was ready for the reception. And again here, just a little flat-footed tonight, I believe, is Laborde.
Yes, she was a bit flat-footed there and really giving that one up. And but it was a good pass to her, but really caught her napping.
So I think that's a throw inadvertently, and I believe it would be retaken. Let's see what the call of referee Canterbury is. And so the crowd, not as big as we would have anticipated, but they're definitely following the game. So a free kick actually coming the way of St. Vincent. Stowe is behind it. Powerful young lady. She's going to try to pump this one downfield. We see some substitutes being sent to warm from the St. Lucian bench. This one goes forward and it bounces over everyone until it gets to Shepherd. She heads away. Arika Hooper tries to push her way forward. Falls now for Fanu. Coming over to the right, to the left, goes inside, so looks for St. Louis, that's Shepherd, but shielding there was Bowens. For once her clearance was not precise enough, and she's also now being called for a handball as that pass from Joseph intended for St. Louis was intercepted.
Yes, definitely, and I was just wondering if it's reaction or deliberate, but that the hand went up.
A deliberate one should be attracting a card.
Oh, yes. But I think he was inadvertently.
All right. So in this case, Canterbury did not think it was deliberate.
So.
But just off the D to the right of the goal area of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Joseph. Is that Joseph? No, it's Kyla Lionel. She's the one lining up behind it. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 St. Lucian blue shirts in the box of the St. Vincent defensive third, and they are tussling. That's Joseph and Fanu tussling with it looks like Stowe, sorry, and Finley with a impressive hairdo tonight. Here we go. Kayla Diamond hits the post with a really good strike. James for once was beaten, but she was protected by her upright, Charlo.
Definitely, she was beaten for once, and that crashed into the top upright and rebounded. And in the end, Vincent knocking it out of play, and this time it's going to be a goal kick.
Well, the best friend of goalkeepers came to James's rescue there. The upright, the crossbar, that is. And wow, that was well taken.
Very well taken, and had some pace behind it as well.
And that's what undone, I believe, James. But St. Vincent Grenadines still here has the score at 0-0. That's given away by Finley into the path of Fanu. But Fanu looks for St. Louis. St. Louis goes across, finds. This is Diamond. Diamond slips. Is it Diamond or is it? Yeah. Yes, it is Diamond. Or is it the Corey Williams? For the first time in 3 days, we are seeing the Vincentian defense a bit unimaginative in terms of their clearance.
Well, definitely, and I think again that pass we see Captain Cordis was again, she was also caught flat-footed and allow the St. Lucians to come away with it.
Well, soaking up some pressure here at the Vincentians. This cross comes in, a good cross, but only as far as Jeffrey. Jeffrey has Williams to contend with. Almost stole it, Williams. And a free kick comes against Williams as she impeded the progress of Bowens.
So, a bit of pressure in the last minute or two on the defense of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but they have held firm.
Well, St. Lucia trying to ensure not to leaving anything to chance to ensure their berth in the championship game on Saturday. St. Vincent would need to go helter-skelter with goals, Charlo, to deny them that opportunity, but still 0-0. The onion bag has not bulged this evening in this second encounter. Nothing very close to in any stretch of the imagination to what we saw in the first encounter. But it's Kayla Diamond, is it? Yes. Kayla Lionel comes across, finds her captain in Shepherd. She is moving into the right spaces and brings it across. It looks like Fanu, is it? No. It looks at this time like well, we're getting a little mixed up, but it looks like Diamond on Lionel. Why am I saying Diamond all evening?
Well,
Lionel, who was the intended recipient there, Charlo.
Well, yes, and it's St. Vincent now would look to counter.
Well, they've been having difficulty coming out of their own half. This time they are midway into the St. Lucian.
Battle of the number 9s.
Yes, a St. Lucian period, St. Lucian half. And that one was an infringement against Richards for St. Vincent and the Grenadines as she tackled from behind Albert. So, John, it looks like.
Yeah, Raquel John.
She's going to move upfield, finds St. Louis, controls well without pressure, and she goes across, finds Fanu. Fanu does well, finds a captain in Shepherd. Shepherd is looking for movement. She goes wide. Elaine was asking her to go wider. She held on to it a bit, and so Elaine now has to clean up that danger and into touch from an oncoming Laborde. So St. Lucia continue to press forward here with a throw-in from Elaine, back from Shepherd to Elaine. Elaine coming up the right-hand side. She has space and finds Joseph on that right-hand side. Joseph cannot reel it in, and into touch it goes. So Joseph regains possession though, finds Shepherd, and there's some very vocal Vincentian spectators now, Charlo, are not probably liking what they're seeing. And another free kick coming the way of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. John it is. Commanding this one again.
For St. Lucia.
Yes, for St. Lucia. Did I say St. Vincent and the Grenadines there? The Battle of the Saints. John pushes forward, looks for St. Louis, and she cannot put control. Albert does so though. She takes a long range shot. This one is off target, and
one way off target.
Yes, another free kick, goal kick in this instance, coming the way of St. Vincent.
Trying to catch James off guard, but she was always alert, and that went wide, and she just watches it go by for a goal kick.
So it's Boynes goes across and finds Stowe. Stowe is dispossessed by Joseph. Yes, Joseph pushing forward. Ooh, cutting that danger out. Again, Boynes playing really well. Falls to Kayla Lionel on this occasion. She has Stowe to contend with on the right-hand side. And it's an infringement, is it? Yes, against a Stout called by referee Canterbury. And so another free kick coming the way of St. Lucia. Captain Shepherd commands this decision to take the free kick. She comes in with a good kick just about the middle of the penalty area and falls now for Albert. Albert goes through. She takes a shot. It seems as if they have decided that that might be the route to go. Yes, against the Vincentian custodian.
So, they have not been successful thus far.
And pinned in their own half, St. Vincent so far in this second half for the majority of it. But pressuring there is Quao. Quao is trying to get around, but John leaves this for Elaine. Elaine, bad pass this time into the part of Hooper. Hooper just at the edge of the box on the left-hand side. Can't get around. The definitive but very strong person in Elaine Charlo.
Yeah, Elaine has done a tremendous amount of work for St. Lucia. She has been very good on the flank, and she stood firm. She never gave up. She and really just soaking up the pressure.
She has been a very strong contender, a stout worker, a very aggressive in her work. The ball comes across, evades everyone and goes into touch.
I think Richards was caught napping.
Again, flat-footed, Charlo.
Yes.
And Richards and Quao.
It is Quao. I think it was a bit out of reach of Quao, but Richards herself was really caught napping.
She should have been crashing the area from the far post there. But taken away by Boynes again to Cordis. Cordis goes wide to the left, finds Laborde. Laborde cuts inside, beats Elaine for the first time this evening. She comes inside, takes a shot, and that goes into the hands, the arms of Lionel, Kiana Lionel this time.
Well, so it was really a long shot and really didn't have the power behind it, and Lionel collect. There's Cardis, boots that downfield, looking for Richards on the far right. Richards with a long run. She's not the fastest of players. Up goes the offside flag. And it's going to be a free kick for St. Lucia. So St. Lucia will now look to counter-attack. Ali comes back, but Cardis cuts that out for St. Vincent. Has Fanu to contend with. Fanu gets it, goes back to Raquel John, back to Fanu. Fanu gives it to her captain Shepherd. Shepherd goes back to Fanu. As nice ball, finds St. Louis. St. Louis gets as a couple to get around, but again, good work there by Bowens. And it's Richards now look to come away with it. Arika Hooper has done tremendous work there. And Shepherd with it. Who looks about that. This would go out of play. It's going to be a throw-in for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So Jeffrey with a throw-in finds Richards, look to backheel that, but Raquel John is there, and again, Jeffrey unable to control, knocks it out of play. Is going to be a throw-in for St. Lucia. Number 9, Albert, just below our commentary position. Long ball finds our captain, who is unmarked, comes back to Albert. Albert beats Richards. Albert goes down the left, still working her way around. Oh, tremendous work by Captain Cardis. Sliding tackle, clean as you can be. It's going to be a throw-in for St. Lucia. Much appreciated by the crowd.
By the crowd, definitely,
at Victoria Park.
Yes. Long throw coming from Albert.
It's a long throw. And there is Charles, knocks it back. Albert gets a boot on it. Finds St. Louis, back to Albert. She's in a tussle. And there is Finley with that tackle. And referee Scantleberry just asking Finley to come. And as well as she's asking the Captain Cardis.
It'd be interesting to see the replay of that, Charles.
Well, it's certainly. And
I think Finley is also on a card, Charlo. Subject to correction. I'm thinking she got a card in the first half.
He has had a quiet word with them.
Okay.
And so it's going to be a free kick for St. Lucia. Just outside, about 2 or 3 yards outside the penalty area. As quite a few players would come back into the area. So the wall, there's a 3-man wall. So let's see, it's Lionel with a short curling ball.
Ooh.
And well done by James. Gets it to the right. There's a tussle, and St. Vincent will look to clear that. And the flag goes up. It's against St. Lucia, so it's going to be a free kick for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But it was a good free kick. But again, James on spot.
Excellent free kick. Lionel seemed to be on the money tonight for St. Lucia, but James was equal to the task. She did have some support in the defender at the far post, but she did well to keep that one out, because that one was destined for the upper corner.
There's a bit of tugging on the far side, some short tugging, and so Arika Hooper turning on some pressure. Bowens there as well. So it's going to be a throw-in for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It looks like Stowe. So again, still being knocked out of play. It's going to be a throw-in once again for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Quickly taken. And who is getting that yellow card? Someone is getting that yellow card.
Looks like
And
Laborde.
Laborde, and she
Yes.
has gotten a yellow card before in a previous game, I think. Roxelle, did she?
I'm not sure how it accumulates from game to game in terms of the numbers you have to accumulate, if that is part and parcel of the regulations. But she now would have to be very careful in the next 25 minutes or so.
So, it's a free kick for St. Lucia. It's still 0-0 affair here at the Victoria Park.
So John, there's a
Ladies and gentlemen, yellow card issued to Charisse Laborde, number 11 in the 66th minute.
well, we do have yet another stoppage, and for another young lady who is not feeling well. In this case, it looks like Lionel. She just stood and went down on her hunches and being attended to now by the doctor. So the effects of some very, very intense matches and some knocks that go along with that, and she's been strong in the defense as well, and so some attention being given to her there.
So the free kick for St. Lucia as John boots it downfield looking for Fanous. Fanous gets a boot on it, comes back to Albert with a long range shot that is wide, aimless, and James just stood there and watched it go far to her left with no harm whatsoever, no interest, and now she rolls it out. And St. Lucia, but St. Vincent would look to come away with it. Laborde loses it, booted downfield off the head of Finley, still in there, Finley, and it's with Fanous. Comes to a left, finds St. Louis. Arika Hooper is there, goes to a right, gives it to Stowe. Stowe finds Laborde on the far right, but she's been dispossessed by the St. Lucian. The long run coming down to a right, the cross comes in and off the head of the St. Lucian. Fanu, but cleaned up by Kyla Lionel. Lionel comes back in the middle, finds her captain Shepherd. Shepherd still with it with a shot that goes wide, and it's going to be a goal kick for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Some anxious moments, Roxelle.
Great ball across the area there from Joseph. I don't think that Fanu, one of her best attributes is heading, because she was very tentative in going towards that ball, and I agree. I think definitely one of the strategies for the St. Lucian tonight is to take long shots at James.
So Finley still with it, gives it to Jeffrey. Jeffrey unable to rein it in, so it's going to be a throw-in for St. Lucia. And so Finley, as you would say, getting a bite. And there's a long shot from Shepherd, but James had no difficulty collecting, and she boots it long downfield, looking for Laborde on that far side, unable to control well. So Stowe is there. Stowe not giving the number 11 in Joseph any freedom. So I think Laborde will be substituted, and she goes off. And is it Crease that comes on? Dinell or Dinella? Dinell, the number 10. So St. Louis still with it, but again cut out with again anxious moment there by the Lionel for St. Lucia that goes wide. It's going to be a goal kick for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So some action taking place in the St. Vincent and the Grenadines half.
Yes, they've been almost camping out for most of the second half. The St. Lucians, Vincentians have been getting to the St. Lucians half on seldom occasions in the second period.
So comes back to St. Louis for the thing. Finds Fanous. Fanous has Finley, the number 7, but he's still with it. But Richards clears it up, gives it to Charles. Charles goes wide, finds Crease. Crease boots it downfield. Long run. Raquel John is signaling to a goalkeeper to come off her line. She does, and collects, and the score remains 0-0 in this affair as he's been bowled out there by James. Not good work. Gives it to Shepherd. That slides off Shepherd. Not good work on the part of St. Lucia. St. Vincent, so it's a throw-in for St. Lucia. Cut out there on the left, but again he comes right back. So Fanous for St. Lucia with it. Good interception there by Jeffrey. Nice ball. The race is off. Richards has Albert to contend with. Albert running, chips it across, finds Raquel John, who goes across the middle. Raquel John loses it to Azumi Kwao, and in the end, goalkeeper coming off a line and collects. But again, we see Cardis going down.
Yes, probably now feeling some cramps. Another long evening and intense running taking its toll, Charlo.
But certainly the effects of a very humid evening and really exerting a lot of energy, and certainly had taken its toll. So
see, still nothing to show any of these teams. They have been asking questions of their opponents, but the goalkeepers and the defense have been sturdy enough.
A poor work by James, throwing it out but giving it away now. Well, Finley looking to come forward. Arika Hooper has Shepherd to contend with. Still Arika Hooper comes back to Finley. Finley comes wide, looking for Richards. Does so. Richards looking for some support. Gives it to Jeffrey. Jeffrey back to Richards. Richards goes across field, but aimless ball, but only to be cut out there by St. Lucia. Kwao is there with the number 13, Alain, pushing her wide. That's a cross. It knocked out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Quickly taken by Stowe. Nice ball, a little too much on that. I think it would go out of play, and again it's going to be a goal kick for
St. Lucia?
For St. Lucia.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Lionel just about lining it up, but she decides to leave it to the ever-present Raquel John. Boots it out, headed back there by Richards. They're in defense. There's some work done. It's Kwao. Comes back to Cardis with a shot, but into the hands of Lionel. And really, they don't have a lot of power behind it. And Lionel was able to pluck that out of the air rather easily, Roxelle.
Yes, and I was wondering whether she has an injury, because the last 2 or 3 deliveries from her box, she actually bowled it out, and then we had Raquel John coming to take that goal kick. But here's St. Lucia on the attack.
Ball. Well, good defensive work there by Finley. And Finley still with it. Comes across, gives it to... And a yellow card being given there to
Kayla Lionel,
the number 10.
Yes.
So it's Kyla Lionel taking up that yellow card, bringing down Finley in the process. Bringing her down from behind, and you can see Finley limping away.
She has been in the battles this evening. She has really taken a few knocks, Finley. She has also shared a few
so
a few
it's
rough
going to be a
tackles.
substitution. So Williams for St. Lucia goes off, and on would come number 17, and so too off would go the number 11, and on would come number 4. So Marquis and
Polius
making their way on.
Well, I think we will probably have a soft heart for Polius since she came on and scored that spectacular goal on the first day. And so we go. It's Polius on the ball now for St. Lucia. Let's see what she does. She cuts back and she looks inside. She brings it to the, it finally gets to Shepherd. Shepherd looking for movement, plays it forward. Good ball to Fanu, but she cannot control it. She was in a really good position and she should have been able to personalize that. It falls now for Lionel. Kayla Lionel. Fanu plays it through, looking for St. Louis. And cut out again by Bowens. Still, St. Vincent bubbling it around. Falls now for the number 17, who took it out of the path of St. Louis. Polius is looking to pull it in. She does. She brings it inside. Finds the number 17. Marquise it is. Marquise goes back to Elaine. Elaine to Samuel. Yes, Samuel is dispossessed, but momentarily picked it up there now is, and shielding well is Elaine. So not looking her best tonight, Samuel Charlo. Looks as if she's probably carrying an injury, but still trying to stick it out here for St. Lucia. Throw comes the way of St. Vincent. It's with Stowe on the left-hand side. She looks to go down to attempt to get the on-running player there, but St. Lucia is heading it away. Shepherd does so now, finds Polius. Polius is looking to thread a needle, but Jeffrey cuts it out. And Finley does the cleanup job eventually. It's going to go into touch. Richards is not going to pull that one.
Well, Richards not the fastest, but the clearance was intentional. And it's going to be a throw-in for St. Lucia. Albert.
Yes, Albert is asking for movement. As we said just now, Samuel doesn't look like she is at her best. She was on her hunches just now, and now she's still there, hoping to find some extra strength to go forward. Fanu to Albert, stolen by Richards. Richards shields well, and she is going to take free kick after being fouled by Albert.
So the battle of the number 9s.
Stopping her progress there as Jeffrey is going to leave this one to Captain Cordis. Here we go. Cordis hammers downfield, only as far as Fanu. Fanu finds Marquez. Marquez looking back for Fanu. Fanu goes inside, but dispossessed by Hooper. Finally controlling sharp hair is Captain, that is Shepherd, into the path of Lionel, but just a bit too much on it for one of the young ladies who have been impressive this evening for St. Lucia, Kayla Lionel.
Oh, definitely, but that had a little bit too much on it. And good interception there by Albert. Albert looks to get around one, loses it. Jeffrey looked to come forward again.
Well, there's some confusion about the throw, and it's taken, as Canterbury says, the throw is in St. Vincent's favor. Is it? Okay, so it has been... it has to be retaken, and St. Lucia is now controlling it. Albert has it, finds Captain Shepherd. Shepherd is looking for movement, gets it to Fanu. Good position. Marquise brings it back to Fanu, but stolen by Hooper, who goes downfield, headed away by John. And Samuel goes up. This is Elaine now, clearing the danger momentarily. Jeffrey picks up the loose ball. And in the tussle there is Captain Shepherd. Still Shepherd, shielding well, still Shepherd. Marquis, sorry, yes, correction. And with Finlay now for St. Vincent, puts it into touch. Still battling here, the Saints, St. Vincent and the Grenadines and St. Lucia. Nothing to show, but they're both still working hard with just about 10 minutes remaining in regulation time. Marquis leaves that one for Lionel. Lionel is being blocked off by Finley. Finley, strong
Good
as
work.
per usual.
Good work. And the applause acknowledges her good work.
Taken the kick Bowens runs into problems. Stolen by St. Lucia. This is Polias. Finds Marquise. Marquise takes a shot. And this one goes over the crossbar. And another goal kick comes the way of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Well, I'm wondering, Roxelle, if something has happened to James. Because for a long time now, we haven't seen her taking one of those long kicks. She has either been throwing it out or rolling it to one of her players.
Well, she's probably going to prove you wrong now. She takes one downfield looking for Richard, stolen by Albert into the path of Kayla Lionel, who's been a thorn in the Vincentians' flesh today. And she leaves this one for... well, did she leave it? Or it was stolen off of her toes by Jeffrey.
For a throw-in.
Yeah, long throw taken now for St. Lucia. Albert goes inside, head away, still in the area. Falls now for Jeffrey, who repeats her initial work and puts it into touch. Once again, a throw comes in to Fanu, who controls well on this occasion, brings it back to Albert. Albert attempts to go inside, but the loose ball falls for Fanu. And in the initial play, Albert was judged to be in an offside position, Charlo.
Well, definitely. And rather belated call, but it was ended up good communication between the officials.
Well, that is always required. So here we go. It's with Finlay going across a goal to James. James to losing it out there. Not good work at all. The manuals will tell you you're not supposed to go across your goal area. They did that and they're under some pressure. Bowens trying to evade for Polias. Falls now for Hooper. Hooper going forward really positively on the left hand side. Goes inside, finds crease. Back to Hooper. Hooper.
A little too much on that.
Oh my word.
The intention was a very good one, but I had a little too much on it, and really Hooper couldn't get there in time.
Well, I think the crowd was screaming for crease turn the other way because there were three Vincentians crashing the 18-yard box. And here we go, a good pass inside, controlled eventually and hammered into over the bar by Charles. Another long shot coming here in this encounter.
Well, it's still 0-0 in this encounter. They're really looking to find the back of the net. So there's that increase, that bit of energy in this final 10 minutes, Roxelle, to break the ice, so to speak.
Well, let's see if it's going to be broken. Remember, St. Vincent and Grenadines conceded very late, just about 10 or 11 minutes remaining on Tuesday. St. Lucia looking to probably do the same. Good work by Jeffrey to cut out that pass. Falls now and looking for Richard. She cannot personalize. And Marquise picks up the loose ball. She is pushing inside. Finds Shepard. Shepard is looking for another through pass. Beautifully to St. Louis. St. Louis over to Polias. Polias is in. Let's see what she does. Polias can't get around Finlay, who's been very, very good for St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the defensive third.
She has defended really stoutly tonight, Roxelle, and just about not giving the Polias or the St. Lucian any freedom.
Well, closing minutes of action. Hooper controls for St. Vincent, getting her first start and pushing forward. She looks for Charles, taken away by John into the part of Lionel. In pursuit is St. Louis. She picks it up. She has Finlay to contend with. She turns, finds Fanudo. Fanu leaves it for Marquise, who turns neatly, lays it off for Lionel. Good footwork. Turning nicely is Lionel, but her shot is awry.
Well, certainly some good work on the part of Marquise first of all, and then to Lionel. But in the end, a poor finish by Lionel the scoreline still remain 0-0.
Turning on the flair and the flavor now, St. Lucia. They've been really knocking at the door. St. Vincent and the Grenadines could and would love to have one of these opportunities against a run of play, basically. Falls now for Fanu. Fanu finds Marquis. She cuts inside. Still Marquis. St. Louis and Marquis. Bubbling it there. St. Louis. And I believe an infringement against St. Louis. Looks as if she may have handled the ball, but it was Finley again who disrupted that play.
So
Booted downfield. And this one is Samuel finally clearing as precisely as she would have done in the 2 previous encounters she played all week, and puts it into touch. Still for St. Vincent and Grenadines. She is looking to find a crease, is it? Yes. And against crease as a high boot coming in there, and took a little bit of a knot there, Polius. So Raquel John to take this one for St. Lucia. She pumps upfield looking for Marquis, taken away by Cordis. And John in a tussle there. Leaving it now is Cordis. Find Marquis. Marquis finds Shepard. Shepard goes forward into St. Louis. St. Louis still pressuring Stowe, who had to come up with a good tackle because St. Louis was unrelenting.
Well, definitely, and I think James was a bit late as well in terms of her movement. And again, we see Stowe, that outstanding defender for St. Vincent, coming to the rescue and thwarting the efforts.
Well, we are in the dying stages of this encounter. Just under 3 minutes left on the clock of regulation time unofficially. And it looks as if it's going to be a throw. Is it Albert? No, it's not Albert. It's Joseph, who is going to take charge of this. She's trying to make sure her hands are as dry as possible as John gets some attention. She has had to dig
human
deep.
service for St. Lucia.
She's had really to dig deep, and this could be a cause for concern as the throw is to be taken now. Joseph into Lionel, heads it back out to Polius. Polius finds Raquel John, who brings it inside, looks for Captain Shepard. Shepard still with it. Shepard takes it through, but again Bowens is there to clear the danger for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Charlo.
Well, definitely the defense for Bowens and Stowe, along with Finley, they have been good tonight for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and really not allowing St. Lucia that freedom.
And Bowens once again in a tackle, and she wins her team's Lady Heat, yes. She wins a Lady Heat, another goal kick.
So James comes to Finley.
Yes. Finley comes across to Jeffrey. Jeffrey is looking in a tussle with Lionel. Into touch it goes, being pressured here in their own half for a long period of time, Charlo.
She held on to that a little too long.
All right. Albert looking, feeling that they are in the ascendancy, the St. Lucians. That one evades the chest of Fanu, headed away by John into the part of Albert. Albert is being asked to cross. She brings it inside, but only as far as Cordis for St. Vincent and Grenadines. Pumps downfield, looking for Quao. Elaine is attempting to clear. Still Quao though. She's looking for help. She goes
I think
a little bit too much. Is it? Chris
loses it.
Right.
She goes down in the process.
But St. Lucia continues to push forward. Stowe taking it there. That is going to be a goal kick as again coming across there. Bowens really effortless and definitely full of energy tonight.
Well, she has not given up. She has played hard from the beginning. Referee, I think the referee and us is unaware of the player on the side.
Well, she's off the field, so that's fine. The game can continue. as Lionel leaves it for Nu. Nu is looking. She takes a shot. It looks as if it comes off of. Goal kick is the call.
And 4 minutes of extra time added.
Yes, to the dismay of the St. Lucians. So 4 more minutes.
I think it's a good call.
They were screaming for something else.
So 4 more minutes of added time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated that there will be a minimum of 4 minutes of added time in the second half.
So here we go. Still some time probably to be added on for this stoppage. We've almost elapsed 1 minute since the indication was made. James boots downfield and it's stolen by Albert, looking for Lionel, but St. Vincent Grenadines gets an opportunity to press forward. That is Jeffrey looking for Richards, and into touch it goes from John. She keeps holding her side, so she may not be 100%, but still working very hard for St. Lucia. Shepherd again finds this is Marquise. Marquise turns neatly, puts it forward, looking for Lionel. Lionel still in it. Lionel has done good work. She has taken control. She's looking for help. She takes a shot. The idea wasn't bad because retreating to her goal was James, but into her arms it went. She bowls it out. Finds Stowe. Stowe looking for that's Crease. Crease is, well, looks as if it went out of touch. St. Vincent and Grenadines still not able to come out of their own half comfortably. This is Lionel Alain on this occasion, between her and Polius, doing the same thing with putting the ball into touch shallow.
So again, you can see that battle, that urgency to find the back of the net. And in the end, still nothing to show. Well,
the whistle goes as looks like Erika Hooper, is it? Who has been floored. And referee Scanterbury is having a look, and she gets gets back to her feet.
Perhaps taking a knock in the process.
So let's see what happens. It's going to be St. Lucia ball from all indications. We're just about a minute and a half remaining from our clock, but there could be some further additional time, Charlo.
Well, we wait on the officials because they would be in charge.
Bounced to taken neatly, shot taken, but positioning comfortably with ease, James.
I'm really impressed with James in terms of her whole approach and the work that she has done. She has not been hurried or pressured. She kept her calm.
Oh, this one bubbles inside. Stowe goes across goal. This one's on the ground. James impressive again. Oh, she snapped that one up with relative ease and in a textbook style. Yes.
Listen to the applause.
And she's probably hurt her arm once again because she did have a similar encounter in the first half.
Well, and there's some attention has been sought. So play has been held up. So we wait to see how many more minutes. And really, she has really been outstanding.
Without a doubt. And
Roxelle, if with a goalless draw in this encounter, who would you give the player of the game?
Well, wow. We've had some excellent performances. I think Captain Shepherd has been good. I do believe that without a doubt, Bowens has been exceptional this evening. Goalkeepers have been good, including James, who's been very impressive and had to take a good few shots because the action has almost been in her half all evening. So for me, those are probably, as well as Kayla Lionel, who's been a thorn in the Vincentian flesh. From those four, that's where my selection would come from.
Well,
So James bounds downfield, looking for a Vincentian player. It's Captain Shepherd who's gone into the path of, beautifully laid off there to Fanu from Polias.
Finley's there.
Yes, Finley as well. And it's now Polias. What she does, she pulls it back, finds Marquise. Marquise to Captain Shepherd. Shepherd looking for Fanu. Fanu turns beautifully, brings it wide to Lionel. Kayla Lionel to Albert. Albert crosses inside. Good cross! Head go up! It was Boynes again who denied, I believe, a good attempt by St. Louis.
Well, definitely. I think the pressure is mounting with every second.
Well, the seconds are biting away. Oh, beautifully done by Polias. It bubbles around in the area. Still Polias. And this is against St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The diminutive figure of Polias, not undone, not daunted by the tall structure of who is that? Looks like Chris, and went up and won her team a very important free kick at an extremely important time. This looks like Joseph. Is she gonna bring it over? She does, into the area, head away by Hooper,
and that's
it. That's it. That's the end of the game, Charlo. Excellent work by the defense of these teams, and I do feel I will probably give my woman of the match to Boynes.
Well, she has really worked extremely hard for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and I would have absolutely no problem with Boynes. Had it not been for Boynes, I would have gone for James.
I would agree, because if it wasn't for Boynes, James may have had a few good more shots to keep out for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
But Boynes has been really outstanding all night. And again, it's the end of the preliminary round. So I think you're going to have St. Vincent and Dominica who would play for the third place playoff. But I think the final definitely would come between Barbados and St. Lucia.
All right, so there we have it. We will see you, and we want to have all of you who are viewing from St. Vincent and the Grenadines here tonight at Arnesville on Saturday. Those of you who are in the park, those of you who viewed our live stream, come to the park, support women's football, support the women in the Caribbean as it relates to football here, Charlo.
So that ends the third round of matches here at Victoria Park, and all action would turn now to Arnesville Saturday for the grand finale. And really, we have witnessed some outstanding football, some very good games. The ladies have demonstrated very good skills, very good competencies, and really, for those persons who have come to the park, have really witnessed some pretty good football. And the Saturday, certainly, we anticipate a similar quality of football. So from the Victoria Park, it's St. Vincent and the Grenadines 0, St. Lucia 0, and earlier we had Barbados rolling over Dominica 7-0, and that's where we leave you until Saturday at Arnesville. 5 o'clock for St. Vincent against Dominica, and 7:30 we will have the Barbados St. Lucia matchup.